5 cities. Gone. Just like that. I took my $1,600 Social Security check and ran it through the 8 most hyped Asian retirement destinations you keep seeing all over your feed. Bangkok, Phuket, Chiang Mai, Bali, Kuala Lumpur, Tokyo, Osaka, Goa, Da Nang, Phnom Penh, and Davao. Same 3 filters. Every single city. 5 failed completely. 2 could work, but only with a backup plan. And 1 city, one that almost nobody is talking about, passed every single test. Starting with the 5 you need to walk away from right now. Before I show you the results, I need to show you the system. Because most retirement advice you're consuming right now is not designed to help you retire. It's designed to get views. Beautiful beach shots, street food close-ups, a smiling 60-year-old holding a cocktail that cost 40 cents. Nobody is running the actual math on your actual check, so I built a system. 3 filters. No hype. I call it the Senior Stability Index, and every city had to pass all 3 or it doesn't make the cut. Filter 1. Warmth. January temperature must clear 10 degrees Celsius. If a city gets cold and gray in winter, you're not retiring there. You're just moving your problems to a different time zone. Filter 2. SS Math. Must be genuinely livable on $1,600 a month. Not survivable, livable. With a buffer, with dignity, with a social life. Filter 3. Visa stability. A real, legal, long-stay path must exist. A 90-day tourist visa is not a retirement plan. It's a countdown clock. The last thing you want at 65 is scrambling for a border crossing every 3 months. Verdicts are simple. City failed, skip it. 2 filters passed. Possible, have a backup. All 3 passed, this works. Just the truth. Now, 5 cities. 5 completely different ways to lose your retirement. Let's go. Number 1. Bangkok, Phuket, and Chiang Mai, Thailand. The most dangerous skip because everyone is selling it. Picture this. You're sitting at home, scrolling YouTube at 10 o'clock at night, and every single retirement video that pops up says the same thing. Thailand. 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 Warm weather, world-class hospitals, incredible food, friendly people. And it is all of those things. I'm not going to sit here and tell you Thailand isn't beautiful. It absolutely is. But beautiful and affordable on $1,600 a month are 2 very different conversations. And this is exactly why Thailand is the most dangerous trap on this entire list. Not because it's bad, but because everyone keeps telling you it's perfect. And that confidence is costing people their retirement. Let me run the warmth filter first, because Thailand does pass it. Bangkok and Phuket are warm year-round. Chiang Mai dips to around 15 Celsius in cool season, but it still clears the threshold. So warmth, pass. No problems there. Now let's talk money, and this is where the dream starts cracking. A comfortable retirement in Bangkok, not luxury, not 5-star, just comfortable, runs you somewhere between $1,400 and $2,000 a month. That is your entire Social Security check. Gone. Before you've saved a single dollar for emergencies, before you've thought about a flight home if something goes wrong, before you've factored in literally anything unexpected. And unexpected things always happen. In Phuket, a 1-bedroom apartment in a decent area runs $700 to $1,100 a month just in rent. Let that sink in. You haven't bought a single meal yet. You haven't paid for transportation. You haven't touched healthcare. And you're already looking at $500 left over for the rest of your life. Now I know what you're thinking. What about those blogs that say you can live in Thailand for $500 a month? Those blogs are technically telling the truth. You can live in Thailand for $500 a month. You just can't live well. You'll be in a tiny room eating the same thing every day with no social life, no activities, no sense of community, and no buffer for when something goes wrong. That's not retirement. That's survival with a passport. But the money isn't even the biggest problem. The visa situation, that's where Thailand becomes a full stop. Here's how the Thailand retirement visa actually works right now. It's called the non-OA visa. To qualify, you need 800,000 Thai baht sitting in a Thai bank account. That's approximately $22,000, permanently parked in a foreign bank, renewed every single year. And yes, you need to get it there, keep it there, and maintain it year after year after year. Don't have $22,000 liquid? Then you're on a 90-day tourist visa. And then you leave. And this is the same situation whether you're in Bangkok, Phuket, or Chiang Mai. The city doesn't change the visa. The trap is the same everywhere in Thailand. This is why Thailand ranks first in the skip it category. Not because it's a bad country. It's a wonderful country. But for a $1,600 Social Security retiree, it's a beautiful, expensive, legally unstable dream. Walk away. Number 2, Bali, Indonesia. Now here's a city that's been doing something sneaky. Bali has somehow convinced an entire generation of retirees that it belongs in the same conversation as legitimate retirement destinations. And I understand why. The photos are stunning. Rice fields, ocean sunsets, villa pools, $40 a month for a yoga membership. It looks perfect. But Bali has a trap that Thailand doesn't, and it's one that could cost you not just your retirement, but your life savings. Let me start with warmth. Year-round 28 degrees Celsius. Perfect tropical climate. No issues whatsoever. Warmth? Pass. Now the money. This is where Bali starts showing its teeth. The areas that have any real expat infrastructure, Canggu, Seminyak, Ubud, those places are running $800 to $1,200 a month. And before you say, I'll just avoid the expat areas. Sure, but then you're living somewhere with no walkability, no English-speaking community, no healthcare nearby, and no sense of security as a retired foreigner. The digital nomad wave didn't just bring laptops to Bali, it brought gentrification. That $400 rice field villa, it exists. It's just not near anything you actually need as a retiree. Then there's what I call the tourist tax. The same bowl of noodles that costs $1.50 in a local warung costs $5 in Seminyak. The same motorbike repair that costs $8 downtown costs $25 near the tourist areas. Your dollars get eaten faster than you think. But here's the real killer, and this is the thing that nobody is warning people about clearly enough. You cannot legally own property in Indonesia as a foreigner. Period. Full stop. Some people try to get around this through what's called a nominee arrangement, where an Indonesian citizen technically owns the property on your behalf. It's common. It's also completely unenforceable in any Indonesian court. If that nominee decides to sell your property, contest ownership, or simply disappear, you have no legal protection. None. Your villa investment doesn't exist in any court that will protect you. People have lost everything this way. And on top of that, no retirement visa exists in Indonesia. 60-day tourist visa. One possible extension. Then you leave. Indonesian immigration authorities have been increasingly strict about overstays and have been publicly expelling foreigners in high-profile crackdowns. Bali ranks second in the skip it category because it layers a property trap on top of a visa trap. And the combination of those two things makes it one of the most financially dangerous destinations on this entire list, despite how gorgeous it looks in every Instagram post you've ever seen. Number 3, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. This one genuinely hurts me to put in the skip it category, because Kuala Lumpur, in a lot of ways, is exactly what American retirees should want. English is spoken everywhere. The healthcare system is legitimately world-class and affordable. The food scene is extraordinary. The infrastructure is modern. It's warm year-round at around 28 Celsius, and it has a public transit system that actually works. And here's something else people don't talk about enough. Kuala Lumpur has one of the largest English-speaking expat communities in all of Southeast Asia. There are American clubs, international churches, English-language gyms, and Western grocery stores. The cultural transition for an American retiree is genuinely smoother in KL than almost anywhere else on this list. That matters deeply when you're building a new life from scratch. Warmth? Pass. And the cost of living? A one-bedroom apartment in KL runs $500 to $800 a month, which means the SS math was actually close to working. For a moment there, KL was looking like a real contender. And then Malaysia changed the rules. For years, Malaysia ran a program called MM2H, Malaysia My Second Home. It was considered the gold standard retirement visa in all of Asia. Reasonable financial requirements, long stay legal rights, excellent lifestyle. Thousands of Americans retired there on it. In June 2024, Malaysia completely restructured the program into 3 tiers: silver, gold, and platinum. And here's what the cheapest tier, silver, now requires: a fixed deposit of 150,000 US dollars, plus a mandatory purchase of Malaysian property worth a minimum of around 130,000 US dollars. And that property cannot be sold for 10 years. So the minimum financial commitment to qualify for the cheapest tier of Malaysia's long-stay program is now over $280,000. That's not a $1,600 Social Security check. That's not even a $5,000 Social Security check. That's an entirely different demographic. And without MM2H, 90-day tourist visa, no banking rights, no lease rights, no legal path to stay. Malaysia ranks 3rd in the skip it category for one simple reason: the door is closed. Not temporarily, not under review, closed. SS-only retirees are not who Malaysia's program is designed for anymore. Cross it off the list and let's move to the city that breaks my heart the most. Number 4, Tokyo and Osaka, Japan. Now this is the most beautiful skip. I want you to imagine for a second that you're watching a YouTube video titled "Living in Tokyo on $2,000 a month." The cherry blossoms are blooming, the streets are spotless, the food looks incredible, the neighborhoods feel like something out of a movie, and you think, that's it, that's where I want to spend my retirement. I understand it completely. Japan is unlike anywhere else on Earth, and the weak yen over the last few years has made it look cheaper than ever. American expats in Japan jumped from around 55,000 in 2020 to 66,000 by 2024. People are moving there in huge numbers. But here is the cold, hard, 3-filter truth about Tokyo and Osaka, and it's not going to feel good. Filter 1, warmth. Tokyo's January average temperature is 6 degrees Celsius. That's 43 Fahrenheit. Osaka is 7 degrees. Both cities fail the warmth filter before we even open a calculator. Cold, gray, damp winters. The kind of winters you're trying to retire away from. Eliminated before we even get to the money. But let's talk about the money anyway, because people need to hear this. A 1-bedroom apartment in any expat-accessible area of Tokyo runs $900 to $1,400 a month just in rent. And Japan's national health insurance is not optional for foreign residents. That's an additional $200 to $400 a month, depending on your income. So before you've bought a single bowl of ramen, you're potentially at $1,800 on a $1,600 check. And here's something the YouTube videos don't mention: the weak yen that makes Japan look cheap. It also means every flight back to the United States costs $1,600 to $2,000 round trip. If your mother gets sick, if you have a medical emergency back home, if anything happens, you may not be able to afford the flight. That's a terrifying position to be in at 65 years old in a country where you don't speak the language fluently. Now, the visa. Japan has no retirement visa. Not a difficult one, not an expensive one. None. To live in Japan long-term, you need a work visa, a spouse visa, or a highly skilled professional visa. None of those apply to American Social Security retirees. Without them, you have a 90-day tourist visa. Then you leave. Tokyo and Osaka rank 4th in Skip It because they're the only destination on this entire list to fail all 3 filters. Not 2, all 3. And yet, because the content about Japan is so beautiful, so aspirational, so perfectly produced, it keeps appearing at the top of retirement recommendation lists. Don't let gorgeous footage make a decision that your bank account can't support. Number 5, Goa, India. Here's where the Skip It section gets genuinely interesting, because Goa is different from every other city in this category. And I want to be honest with you about why. Warmth. Year-round 27 Celsius. Beach climate, beautiful coastline, strong pass. SS Math, $800 to $1,000 a month is genuinely achievable in Goa on local tier living. That is the cheapest budget of any city in the Skip It section. The money works better here than it does in Bangkok. It works better than Bali. It actually comes close to working. So why is Goa in the Skip It category? India has no retirement visa for Americans. The Tourist E-Visa gives you 90 to a maximum of 180 days. Then you leave. The only long stay option, OCI, Overseas Citizenship of India, requires Indian heritage. If you don't have Indian ancestry, you don't qualify. And on a tourist visa, you have no banking rights, no right to sign a long-term lease, no legal residency path whatsoever. There's also something the budget retirement blogs don't mention. Social integration in Goa as a Western retiree with no cultural connection to India is harder than anywhere else on this list. That's not a knock on India or on Goa. It's just the reality of landing in a place with deep cultural complexity as an outsider with no roots there. But here's what I want you to notice, and this is important. Goa is the only city in this section where I would say, watch this space. There have been ongoing discussions in Indian policy circles about a retirement visa program. If India launches one, and I think eventually they will, Goa jumps out of Skip It immediately. The cost of living is right. The warmth is right. The only missing piece is a legal path to stay. When that changes, the conversation changes. Until then, skip it. Now, this is where things get genuinely exciting, because we just went through 5 cities that fail, and now we're moving into the 2 cities that almost work, and one of them is one of the most underrated retirement destinations on the entire continent. Number 3, Da Nang, Vietnam. Let me paint you a picture. You wake up at 7 in the morning. You walk out onto your balcony and the South China Sea is right there in front of you. You walk downstairs, sit at a plastic table outside a local restaurant, and you order a full breakfast. Eggs, baguette, Vietnamese iced coffee for about $1.75. You spend the morning at the beach. You grab lunch for $3. You take a nap. You're living. And your monthly expenses? Under $1,100 on a $1,600 check with $500 left over. That is Da Nang, Vietnam. And the SS Math, for the first time on this entire list, genuinely, undeniably works. Let me walk through the filters. Warmth. Da Nang's January average is 21 Celsius, about 70 Fahrenheit. Year-round warm beach city with French colonial architecture and a modern walkable layout. Strong pass. SS Math. A negotiated one-bedroom apartment runs $280 to $400 a month. Eating out 3 meals a day at local restaurants, not tourist restaurants, local ones, runs $300 to $450 a month. Transport, utilities, internet, and occasional leisure adds another $150 to $200. Total realistic budget, $800 to $1,100 a month. On $1,600 SS, you're looking at a $500 monthly buffer. That is real breathing room. That is the first city on this entire list where I can look you in the eye and say the money actually works. Now, the visa. And this is where Da Nang breaks your heart a little. Vietnam has no retirement visa. There is no long-stay program designed for foreign retirees. What you have is a 90-day tourist visa, and when it runs out, you do a visa run, typically to Cambodia or Thailand, and you come back and reset the clock. It's manageable. Thousands of expats do it, but it is not a retirement plan. It's a workaround. And here's the deeper problem. On a tourist visa, you technically cannot sign a long-term lease. You cannot open a proper bank account. You have no legal protection if Vietnam decides tomorrow to change its visa policy. One decision from Hanoi and everything you've built there is gone overnight, with no legal recourse. I want to be clear, I'm not telling you to never go to Da Nang. I'm telling you that if you go with your eyes open. You have a visa-run strategy mapped out in advance. You have a financial backup that doesn't depend entirely on Vietnam remaining stable and visa-friendly. You treat it as a beautiful base, possibly the most beautiful base on this list, while you keep options open. Da Nang is not an answer, but it might just be the best maybe you've ever seen. Now, speaking of maybes, let's talk about the most underrated city on this entire list, the one that nobody is talking about, and the one that came the closest to being the answer without quite getting there. Number 2, Phnom Penh, Cambodia. This is the most underrated city nobody is talking about. I want you to think about how retirement destination conversations go online. People talk about Thailand, they talk about the Philippines, they talk about Vietnam. They jump right over Cambodia like it doesn't exist. That is a mistake. Phnom Penh is the most financially compelling retirement city in Southeast Asia that nobody is recommending. Modern Phnom Penh is a rapidly developing capital city with a genuine expat community, excellent local food, and something that almost no other country in this region can offer a retired American. It runs on US dollars. Not a local currency you need to figure out. Not an exchange rate you need to track every morning. US dollars, accepted everywhere. Your $1,600 SS check lands in your account and stays at $1,600. No currency risk, no exchange rate erosion. That is a massive advantage that most people walk right past. Now let's run the filters. Warmth, year-round 28 to 32 Celsius. Deep tropical climate. It never gets cold in Phnom Penh. Strong pass. SS math. And this is where Phnom Penh genuinely shines. A one-bedroom apartment in a decent expat neighborhood runs $300 to $500 a month. A full sit-down restaurant meal costs $3 to $6. Total realistic monthly budget, $700 to $900. On a $1,600 SS check, you are left with $700 of buffer every single month. That is the strongest SS math of any city in the possible category. Now, visa. Cambodia has a real retirement visa. It's called the ER visa, the Ordinary Retirement Visa. To qualify, you need to be 55 years of age or older, prove you are retired, your Social Security documentation qualifies, and pay approximately $290 to $300 a year in fees. No enormous bank deposit, no property purchase requirement, no proof of massive monthly income. Just proof that you're retired and you can support yourself. The ER visa is renewable annually. On the 12-month option, you have multiple entry privileges. You can leave and return freely. One of the most accessible retirement visas in all of Asia. So why is Phnom Penh in the possible category and not the winner? One word: politics. Cambodia is a one-party state, governed by the same ruling family for decades. There is no independent judiciary in any meaningful Western sense. If US-Cambodia relations deteriorate for any reason, expat protections can disappear faster than in any democratic country. And you would have very little legal recourse when they do. That doesn't mean don't go. It means go with your eyes fully open. Go with a backup plan that doesn't depend on Cambodia remaining politically stable and foreigner-friendly. Phnom Penh is the hidden gem of this entire list. The SS math is extraordinary. The visa is real. The dollar economy eliminates currency risk. If you can accept the political uncertainty and plan around it, this city is worth a serious look. But there is one city left, and it's the only one that passed everything. No backup plan required, no eyes open caveat, no political uncertainty footnote, just this works. So number 1, Davao, Philippines, the only city that passed every single test. I want to tell you something first. When people hear Philippines, most of them immediately picture Manila traffic, poverty headlines, and news stories they half remember from years ago. And so they skip right past it. They go back to their Thailand videos and their Bali reels, and they never seriously look at the Philippines at all. That skip, that assumption, might be the single most expensive retirement mistake you can make. Because hiding inside the Philippines, in a city that doesn't get nearly enough attention in the Western retirement conversation, is the one destination on this entire list that passed every single test I put it through. That city is Davao. Warmth. Davao sits at year-round 27 Celsius. Deep tropical. Never cold. Strong pass. SS Math. A one-bedroom apartment in a gated subdivision runs $250 to $400 a month. A full sit-down restaurant meal costs $3 to $5. Total realistic monthly budget, $900 to $1,100. On a $1,600 Social Security check, you're left with $500 of buffer every single month. And here is the advantage no other city on this list can match. English is an official language of the Philippines, not a widely spoken second language, an official language. You talk to your doctor in English. You read your lease in English. You have real conversations with your neighbors from day one. The isolation that retirees feel in Japan, Vietnam, and Cambodia simply does not exist here. Now, this is where I'd mention something that hits especially hard when you're planning a permanent move abroad. Healthcare emergencies don't send warning letters. The one thing I never relocate without anymore is solid international health coverage. I personally use Safety Wing, links in the description, designed specifically for long-term expats, not tourists. Now, the visa. The Philippines SRRV, Special Resident Retirees Visa, is the strongest retirement visa in all of Asia. Age 50 plus with a qualifying pension of $800 a month or more, your $1,600 SS check qualifies, requires a one-time refundable bank deposit of $15,000. You get it back when you leave. What you get in return? Permanent residency equivalent status. Indefinite stay, no visa runs, no 90-day clocks, no annual renewals. Legal, protected, permanent. With a $500 monthly buffer, you're saving $6,000 a year from your SS check alone. In 2.5 years, done. Or liquidate one small asset and get there in 12 to 18 months. Why Davao and not Manila or Cebu? Davao has been ranked the safest large city in the Philippines for over a decade. Cebu has been bid up by expat demand. Davao hasn't. The expat community is real and growing. Prices are still honest, and the lifestyle is exceptional. 3 filters. Warmth, pass. SS Math, strong pass. Visa stability, the strongest pass on this entire list. This is the answer. Now, I know exactly what some of you are thinking. Why go through all this hassle? Why move to another country? Why not just move to a cheaper American state? Fair question. Let me answer it with real numbers. Mississippi is the cheapest state in the United States. A one-bedroom apartment runs approximately $850 a month. After rent on a $1,600 check, you have $750 left for food, utilities, transportation, and healthcare out of pocket. In a country where a single emergency room visit can cost you thousands, where prescriptions cost 10 times what they cost in the Philippines. In Davao, on that same check, you have $500 left after covering everything: eating out daily, safe community, affordable healthcare. Moving to a cheaper US state is not a solution. It's a slower version of the same problem. The math doesn't change, it just takes longer to break you. 8 cities, 3 filters. Here's exactly where everything landed. Bangkok, Phuket, and Chiang Mai. Warmth passes, money fails, visa fails. Skip it. Bali. Visa trap on top of a money trap. Skip it. Kuala Lumpur, the door is closed for SS retirees. Skip it. Tokyo and Osaka, the only city to fail every single filter. Skip it. Goa, no visa path exists yet. Skip it for now. Da Nang, the math works beautifully, the visa doesn't. Possible, but have a backup. Phnom Penh, extraordinary SS math. Real retirement visa, fragile politics. Possible, but go with eyes open. Davao, Philippines. Warmth, budget, and the strongest retirement visa in Asia. This works. 5 skips, 2 maybes, 1 answer. The biggest retirement mistake isn't picking the wrong country. It's waiting. Watching video after video and never actually running your own numbers against real, verified facts. You now have a tested system and one clear answer. Davao passed everything. The visa is real. The budget works. The language is English. Before you decide anything though, go watch my previous video about countries where American retirees are no longer safe. Places that look attractive right now, but carry risks nobody is warning you about. It's linked right here. Because the goal was never just finding somewhere cheaper, it was finding somewhere better. And now, you know exactly where to look.